mute us.
Just walk away. Just walk away, and there'll be an end to the horror.
All right, we're live, everybody. Welcome to the next episode 21 of MGTOW Chats. I'm as always, with Nick, and I have our special guest here. He goes by, what do we call you again?
Geno X.
Geno X. Goes by Geno
Geno.
X.
Yep. Geno. Yep.
Yeah, we'll go. Geno X is here, and I just found Geno, as doing my fly on the wall routine in MGTOW Hangouts on Facebook, but he seemed pretty well articulated, so I wanted to get him on and talk about his experience. We are using Facebook chat to do this live stream, so please bear with us. It's kind of a learning curve, and I don't know how well it's going to work out, but we're gonna do it anyway. So anyway, Geno, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how you came to MGTOW.
Man, you know what? My trip to MGTOW it spanned over actually a couple of decades. It's been a very slow trip, and I didn't actually take the red pill until late 2011. But it's been a long and gradual process. Back in the late 80s, because I was born in '69,
Okay.
and back in the late 80s, I had an uncle that was awakened by married, and he was killed in 1990, and he was dropping a lot of MGTOW talking points before MGTOW was even a term. But it took me years to really understand the gravity of the situation or the gist of it. So I basically was your regular, blue pill, mostly simp, just like everybody, a lot of people were, and running up behind these females on the most part, and every once in a while, of course, I did run through a stage where they was chasing me a lot because I had rental property back in the day.
Wait,
and I
wait.
was a landlord for like 30, yeah.
So wait, so being a landlord gets you pussy? Is that what you're saying?
You know what? Yeah. Actually, they'll throw pussy at you as a landlord. Like when I had, cause see, that was back in the '90s. This was before stuff was on the internet. And when I had apartments for rent, first they went in there looking for an old Jew, and then when they saw me, you know, then next thing they turned off flirty, and then sometimes I used to get little side offers or whatnot, or they'll kick the innuendo to see if I took the bait. But man, I was about my money, I mean, I never fucked a tenant before. I did that elsewhere. So it was like I was blue pill, but there was some things that I was doing that was red pill, and that was one of them. Which it was like, give me my money, because if your sex was all that, you wouldn't be looking to rent my apartment. You'd be somewhere in a
Right.
penthouse somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
so right, you're not gonna be, yeah. So I already knew it wasn't worth it. But no, they will. You know what? Yeah, they'll throw. They'll chase you. And like I lived in a single family 3-bedroom house, and then I rented out 4 duplexes, and I used to have females come visit me, trying to get with me, and I had a policy back in them days. I said ain't nobody gonna walk by my house without me stepping to them, because this was in the late '90s, remember? So it was a different time. The females weren't as cunty as they are now, and they were cooperative. But yeah, look what I was standing in front of. I'm in I'm in my house, and I got a Cadillac in front of my damn house. It was an old Cadillac, but see, I got a house, got a Cadillac, and I'm sitting in front, and I didn't realize that they were cooperative, not because of what was coming out of my mouth. It was because of their hypergamy. They saw a deal. They saw a way to trade up. But see, I didn't know that at the time. But this does play into how I took the red pill, which is a very unusual route.
It's a great route.
Now,
What's that?
yeah, and I went through, now right around, I'm gonna skip up maybe a decade or so. Around the time I got the red pill back around 2011, I was reading a lot of PUA shit, and I wasn't connecting the dots, and I was reading this stuff. It was called, this guy called David X, and no, I didn't copy that Geno X from it. Actually, X for me was it's salute to Malcolm X. where that came from. But
Okay.
he mentioned that you can't. He mentioned that a female has a lot of power, and you just can't get them out of your house. Now, what did that have to do with anything? In my years as a landlord, I got good at throwing people out. I was good at eviction. That's the reason I made money doing it. Because as soon as they didn't hit me in my hand, they hit the road. I knew how to get them out. I was managing my grandmother's property. Everything was kosher until somebody started tripping, moved in extra people, or didn't give her money, or she needed a place. She needed to rent one of her apartments. That's when I stepped in when it got hot and heavy. So I was helping her out, and then I was also kind of mentoring other landlords on how to throw out their tenants because I got good at it. So
Okay.
here I
Well,
am, and then I'm
how did you
huh?
get? How did what were the skills you needed to throw people out?
Well, I was taught how to a lot of my landlord management skills and stuff like that. Ironically, I learned it from a traditional woman. She was married to her husband. She was basically submissive to her husband. She didn't drive, and she
Wow.
was a real estate broker. So I actually learned a lot from her, and so when you hear these females talking all this shit about, oh, I'm this, I'm that. Look who I learned about business from. A lot about business from a traditional woman, you
Interesting.
know. So they got it completely twisted. But so I learned some tricks and tips, and I picked up a lot of stuff in the meantime. And then there was a lot of red flags. I don't want to go too much on a tangent if y'all, unless y'all are real interested, but there was a lot of red flags to look out for when you were renting, because the best eviction you'll ever do, it's like screening. It's like the best divorce you'll ever get is not marrying. The best eviction you'll ever do is not rent to them. But you have to be no nonsense once you move in. You got to be upfront. You got to be honest. Don't bluff. And don't make any promises. You
So,
know.
do you
So
was
go
there?
ahead.
Did you see a strict difference between female tenants and male tenants?
It was most the females. The guys were always cucks. This is real estate because see, my background skill set in real estate too, and I was in sales. I was even self-employed as a real estate as a mortgage broker for a little while,
Hmm.
and in the real estate business, is it's a cucked out business when it comes to guys.
Right.
When I had my property, I quickly learned that you better have the kitchen and bathroom in order because she's going to be making the decision on whether it's going to be rented, house going to be rented or bought.
Damn.
So you got to fix it up for her.
Okay, hold on a second.
I learned.
Hold on a second. Nick is also into real estate. Would you agree with that? What he just said, Nick? Nick, did he disappear?
Too good. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you. We didn't hear it. What did you
Let,
say?
let me know. Am I breaking up? Just let me know because I'll change connections.
No, you sound okay now. I just didn't hear you at first.
Yeah, no, I am in real estate. I agree with him 100%.
So it's like you're when you're showing a place, you're appealing to the woman, not the guy, right?
Yeah, for when it comes for rentals, yes, or for regular buyers, like there's two kinds. There's a couple types of buyers in real estate because I was an investor, but the regular buyer, they're looking for something that looks like a dollhouse, and they want everything to look nice, prim, proper, and perfect. Then you have people out there like me. I'm looking for fixer uppers. I'm looking at fucked up houses. I'm looking for the smell of piss. You're looking at it with a different eye.
Right, right.
So you gotta approach it with a different angle, and then you can't. And if it's a good deal, you can't. If he been around the block, you can't sit on a good deal. As soon as you see a good house, man, you better be ready to tie that motherfucker up on the spot. The real estate market is like a nightclub. The hottest ones get picked first. So you gotta be on your toes, and you gotta be quick to the draw, and you gotta be ready to get it off the market. Because the minute you see her and she's off in the corner and be like, I'm gonna step to her later, some other dude done already got her. So the housing market, the real estate market, for investing, it's identical to how nightclubs used to be,
Okay.
ironically. So it's
So
a lot of parallel, yeah,
so do you
for
think that
investors. But
do you think that that your journey to the red pill, a big part of it played within your experience of real estate?
yeah, and my red pill moment is easy to explain. Now here I am, I'm the Zen master of eviction.
Okay.
I know how to get rid of people. Okay. I was getting rid of people from my grandmother. I was mentoring other people on tricks and tips on how to get rid of people. You know, I could share some stories with you. And I can't get a woman thrown out of my house. That was my red pill moment.
Right.
There was no looking back. That was it. I can't get a female out of my own house. Like I'm in an apartment right now. If I own this apartment, if this apartment building was in my name, if I owned it, I would be able. If somebody even paid, they're gonna be history, you
Right.
know. But if a female is in here
It's
with
cohabitating.
with yeah, the cohabitation agreement,
Yeah.
and then I got a video on my on my channel. It's called Your Key, and it's a 10-minute video, and it gets into a lot of detail about the dangers of giving females your key and stuff like that. A lot of the
Oh
stuff I
yeah.
learned, some of the
Oh
stuff I
yeah.
learned is blue pill, but they got tricks and they got little games. And a big game that they do is they play coy. They play disinterested. They play like they're blowing hot and cold. They're playing hard to get, but they're obsessed. They're obsessed with getting your resources. They're obsessed with getting your money. They're obsessed with
Yep.
getting the baby so they can get a free ride. They're obsessed with it. But on the surface, they come into you slow playing, and then when they slow play, you got these guys simping and cucking for them, and it's all a game.
Yeah.
It's all a game. So that was my red pill moment, and then I was
Uh oh.
until I realized that was a waste of time. I mean, I got my own. I'm a lot better at articulating why being an MRA is a waste of time now if we get into it. But I just MGTOW it just kind of came naturally.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it was a natural progression from there, and it's things that I've never been happier in my life. Just gotta just keep moving. Keep
Yeah. So
pushing.
you've never been married?
You know.
Hello?
Never been married, no kids.
Never been married, no kids. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
it's
still here.
yeah.
Hope
Okay.
Nick's still there. Yep.
Because I think a
Yep.
lot of guys, end up. It's easy for guys to end up MGTOW after they've been through like a bad marriage or a divorce or, loss of kids.
Hmm.
It's sort of easy that way. So, but but that doesn't make up the majority of MGTOW either. And you're, in a case in point, you Geno, who you're a few years older than I am, and you've never been married or had kids. So
Nope.
He's
No.
an
And a
OG.
lot of people. What's up?
Yeah, I'm saying you're older.
Oh,
Age
gee. Oh,
comes
you
with
mean OG?
wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like I have 4 decades. I have 4 decades of blue pill this, but I can take my mind and think back to, I mean, I know how it was. I turned 18 in 1987, so I know how the
So
climate
wait,
was back
you got
then.
you got your broker's license?
No, I don't have it anymore, but I had it. That was years ago.
You did have it. All right,
But
that's cool.
yeah, and actually, it was a salesperson license.
Hmm.
It wasn't a broker. I didn't go for the broker's license.
Okay,
But
okay.
I was pretty much. It's pretty much the same thing. It's kind of redundant, but I don't. When you're up front, I never have to remember anything I'm saying in this stream, for example. It's
Hmm.
not going to contradict anything I put on Facebook, or it's not going to contradict any. You know what I mean? I don't have to remember nothing. Just that's why I just, which I had a salesperson in real estate too, and 90% business administration courses, and that was back, and that degree was years ago. I mean, back when I got my degree, they held homosexuality was still in the abnormal psychology textbooks. That's how
right.
long,
Yeah, man.
time flies, but it was different. It was different time than today. But but
Very different,
but
man.
no, I was never. I was never raked through the coals by, a female. I've never had to go to court for a female or anything like that. I've never been fucked over by a female like that. Women are generally nice to me in real life. I was close to my mother to the very end. She died in 2015.
Hmm.
I'm real cool with my grandmother now. I'm cool with all the women close to me in my family.
What about
They help me out.
what
Go
about
ahead.
male influence in your life?
That's like 50%. That's where I got a lot of the red pill talking points from.
Nice.
Don't move into a house with a woman in your own name. It was all my mother raised me till I was 11. My mother and stepfather, and then my grandparents raised me into adulthood. So I've always had both parents.
Okay.
I've always had a man living in my address where I lived as a child. I've never had an experience where there wasn't a man, where there wasn't a man there when I went home. The closest thing I noticed with single parenthood was my stepfather. When my mother gave my youngest brothers to my stepfather and kind of observed him, and that's what kind of discouraged me to this day from wanting to be a single parent.
Yeah.
And then I found out that the single mothers back in the day, first of all, they weren't common. And then, and I'm pining for them, they hot, I'm looking at them like that. Oh, hey, his mama look good. You ain't really thinking along the terms of, oh, she just sitting on their ass and doing nothing or whatever. Because women were a lot thinner back then. The hotness was a norm. Back then. And anybody that grew up in the 70s and 80s know exactly what I'm talking about.
Holy
That was
Christ.
norm, you know. Yeah, so my early experience, and then the family course, I developed my hatred of family course because my mother had to go through, every time, they was holding back her tax returns,
Yeah.
they, things like that. But how did that tie in? She's the one that told me about the family court trap. She's the one that told me about the baby trap. You got this woman, she's paying child support, and she's coming at me like child support is a men's issue. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
females now, they're worth it. They're not schooling their sons.
No.
And I was told, and the stuff I was told by, and the stuff I was told by men, that's like a whole wide open thing from the talking points that you hear in MGTOW today to being no nonsense, to being able to stand up to things,
Yeah.
and being able to have some self control, because you're not raising your voice in a house where you have a grandfather that's going to bust you in your shit. Right. You step
Yeah.
out of line.
That's right.
I don't care. Yeah, and he was 6'2",
Yeah.
and then my stepfather was 6'2", so it wasn't none of that. Oh, yeah, I knew I was bigger and stronger, but hey, the law came from both parents.
Yeah.
They laid the law down, and so this was like, I want a family one day, and I want them to enjoy the same benefits that I got,
Yeah.
out of having two parents with some kind of, because I had stability, and you hear people like turd flinging monkey stories and things like that, and it's common. That kind of stuff is so common, and I can only just thank God that never had to experience, that type of stuff.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, TFM story.
I watched my mother able to, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. TFM's personal stories is pretty heartbreaking.
You go on Ayam.
Yeah. TFM's story is pretty heartbreaking.
Oh man, yeah.
And he and everything you've said up till now is very. It matches. It's your own personal story, but it matches very well with kind of what you're hearing all the time in these circles, and that is that.
Yeah.
Yes, that two-parent homes are more successful at raising, especially boys. I'm gonna keep it to boys at this point, but raising boys to be a lot better suited to deal with the realities of life. When you give that authority to just a single mother, all right, you're really hurting that boy's chances. I don't know about the girls, but you're really hurting the boy's chances of being a successful man at a later time in his life. This is statistically
Right.
shown. This is backed up. This statement I'm making is backed up by a lot of statistics that people don't want to hear about. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to talk
Right.
about it. And I want to segue what you've said into how a part of the title of this video, which is Cuckery is non-partisan. And when I say that people don't want to hear about it, I'm talking Republicans and Democrats, left and right. They don't want to hear it. They just don't want to hear it. We, as MGTOW, or as people that have at least a sense of the red pill, of taking the red pill down, we tend to, I think in our circles, we tend to lean a little bit to the right, for the most part. I mean, would you agree with that?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I think that most
I
people.
still hear Nick.
Yeah, I'm here, man.
I
He's
still
there.
hear Nick.
He's there.
Okay. All right.
But I believe that MGTOW and these circles, let's just call them red pill circles, all right? We shades of MGTOW, shades of MRA, whatever. Basically, I'm talking about groups that are dominated by men and are androcentric. They're centralized on the man. They're not gynocentric. These groups tend to lean to the right in the modern age. And I always assumed that people on the right understood these concepts a lot better than the people on the left. But that's not true. Just because you're red-pilled and you lean to the right, it does not mean that every right-leaning person is red-pilled. And that's something you got to watch out for. Do you understand?
Oh yeah, I look at it like a Venn diagram where it's a circle inside of a circle. Red pill,
Yeah.
people that lean right, that lean left. It's going to be, most of them are going to be feminists, Kool-Aid drinking blue pill. But on the right side, you're going to have more people that are awakened, but the majority of them are just as asleep as the ones on the left.
That's right. Absolutely. If they haven't, and that's the thing is, and I'm gonna go in and tell this story now to the listeners. You guys have heard it a little bit about it, but I want to go in and tell the story to the listeners about how, I believe it was on Wednesday. I don't know if any of my listeners actually pay attention to what I put on Twitter, because it's mostly just, I use it to just sort of social experiment anyway. But I think it was on Wednesday. I saw a tweet by Jenna Jameson, who was the ex-porn star. Everybody knows who Jenna Jameson is. And her tweet was basically virtue signaling. She's basically saying, look how good of a single mother I am, and I stand for family rights. She's very right-leaning Republican. Now, Nick, you knew this before I did. You knew she was a thick Republican. I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know.
I knew that usually just from news feeds and stuff, how she supported more the Republican platform.
Okay, because she's anti-abortion, very anti-abortion, and I didn't know this because, all right, I want to give, before I get into that, I want to give a little bit of history of why I've kind of had this string of incidents with porn stars on Twitter. All right, because this is kind of interesting, actually.
Go for it, man.
Okay, and this is actually kind of interesting, and so basically, you guys all know the honey badgers, correct? Geno, you know the honey badgers?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah.
All right. So Nick, you know the honey badgers.
Yeah, from you, yeah.
Yeah, from me, and so everybody listening, I'm sure, knows the honey badgers. Now, these are a group of women. These are a troop of women who are MRA supporters, and they're very popular. I mean, these guys are on. They're doing live streams all the time. But the point is that in the beginning, when the honey badgers were just starting to take off, I was still in Indonesia, and I occasionally had communication with some of the members of honey badgers, and at that time, in the very early days of them kind of taking off as a platform for live streaming, they used to have the porn star, what was her name? Mercedes Carrera. She was a part of maybe a loose member, and no pun intended, a loose member of the
Yeah.
of the honey badger
Yeah.
brigade.
Right.
So and I think Mercedes Carrera even made it to Calgary when they were doing an expo. Don't quote me on that. Somebody else will have to go in and look for sure. But anyway, I noticed. Okay, so this porn star is now advocating for men's rights, and she's part of the Honey Badgers. I'm like, what the fuck? So I ended up following the Honey Badgers on Twitter, and then following Mercedes Carrera, and then it just steamrolled into all these porn stars on Twitter, right? And I've actually been yeah. So I've been actually banned from Twitter for criticizing a porn star. Okay. Like I got a what was it, a 7
for trolling has been porn stars.
Yeah,
correct?
for trolling, and not has what was her name, Katrina Jade. I remember seeing an interview with this girl, and she was just, I was like, oh my god, this woman she has the intelligence of a child. Anyway, so yeah, I was trolling has been porn stars, and I actually got a 7-day suspension on Twitter for doing that. So this is sort of why I see Jenna Jameson's feeds, and she comes on and goes, wow, I'm a virtuous single mother who stands for family values, right?
Yeah.
What I said was, and this is the thing, I responded. I just happened to see the tweet, and I responded by saying, I said one Google search of your name, and family values will go out the window. So sit down.
Right.
Good.
So this is the thing is
Right.
now it was the aftermath of that simple tweet. Now the ball was in her court. Now she could have ignored me. I mean, she's a celebrity, for Christ's sake. I'm a nobody. She could have ignored me. She could have responded to me. But instead, and this is what they usually do, this is what women like to do, is she retweeted my response along with a response of her own, so that I don't know how many followers she has, but she's probably
Her minions.
So her millions of minions can respond for her, right? This is what she does. So she retweets it with a response, and then all her minions come in, and it was incredible. You guys still there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a regular thread, and then she deleted that, and then she put it up as a regular tweet to draw in her minions.
No. She didn't have to delete it. She just retweeted my reply, because my reply to her is not everyone.
Oh.
Yeah. Not everyone will see my reply to her tweets, but if she tweets it on her own, every fucking follower gets a notification, right? So I didn't know she was a Republican. Like I didn't know until Nick told me. But every single I swear, thousands and thousands of people coming at me, shaming me. They were using the same liberal tactics. You live in your mom's basement. You play video games. You can't get laid.
It's the knee jerk responses.
Yeah, the knee jerk responses. And I didn't.
He was like, live in your mom's basement. Hell, I had plenty of basements, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, but I didn't insult her directly. I didn't call her names. I simply said, if you Google search your name, family values will go out the window, right? Which is an honest criticism. Honest criticism of a porn star. And this is the thing, I'm sick and tired of these thoughts virtue signaling and basically trying to put themselves on a platform for something that they don't deserve. They don't deserve any of this respect. But the point is I got so much shaming, insults, threats, and they were all Republicans, and 98% of them were male. Not a single porn star came to her defense. Female porn star. not a single.
Of course not.
Very few females, maybe one or two I saw, came to her defense. It was all Republican cuck men. So that was an eye-opening social experiment, which it was a reminder. It was just a reminder that just because you got the red pill firmly lodged in your throat, and just because you're searching for answers of the truth does not mean that everybody that leans the same way you do thinks the same. So,
Right. You know what? I've heard this dynamic discussed before. The best presentation of it was one of Barbarosa's videos. Go to the name of the video. I remember it's called "The Psychology of the Concern Trope." About halfway through that, I usually don't have a memory like that, but the videos are good, and I'm gonna remember it. About halfway through that particular video is Barbarosa, "The Psychology of the Concern Trope." And he mentioned about female MRAs. All they got to do is just come out of nowhere, drop a couple talking points. Girl rights, what Barbarosa Stardust used to be, what has said a million times. And then you got dudes that's going to be falling all over them, fawning for these females just because they just did that. It's for the attention base. And he was mentioning in that video how phony and disingenuous they are, and they're just in it just trying to get attention, that they really don't give a shit. They don't have any content of their own, and they're basically shells. If you listen to them talk, they're not gonna say anything original. And everything I just said is in that video.
yeah.
And I think anybody that wanna, and he did a video like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and it's just more of the same shit, but I would love to hear Nickens.
Well, it's a form of cuckery. These guys think if they appease the beast, being one of the minions, they'll get attention from a has-been porn star. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, and it's incredible that, well, okay, for example, one Republican cuck came in and said, You came in and you called this struggling single mother a whore, and her baby daddy left her alone, and she's struggling, and I was like, what the fuck? I said, look, this woman who used to get paid, who apparently, and this was Jenna Jameson's own words to me, I'm in a higher tax bracket than you. That was one of her shaming tactics to me. That she paid.
That's a very typical Republican response.
That was
very white golf cart, Rush Limbaugh response.
She does it, but she's making an assumption, and she's not
better
wrong.
than you because she has more money. That's
yeah,
what she's saying.
that's what she's saying. She's better than me because she makes. And I'm saying to this dude, like, look, this woman who made money put herself into a higher tax bracket than me by fucking in front of people, all right, for a living. She got impregnated by a thug. Color me shocked. Oh my God. And it doesn't make sense to a lot of these Republican cucks. Don't get it. Poor her. Jesus Christ, man. Every single guy that was standing up for her, that was cucking for her in that instant, every Republican guy that was cucking for her in that instance, at one point had a ringside seat to her gaping colon. All right? And
right. One thing that I could say about all of these cucks on the left and the right that come out and defending subpar women, I have one argument for all of them. Notice that all of them, whether they're on the left or on the right, none of them are trying to put a ring on none of those bitches. They're not stepping up to the plate. How come none of them are willing to put on their Captain Sable whole hat and try to help out the situation? You know what I mean? Ain't none of them doing that. They go year after year after year, these defending bitches, ain't none of them trying to wipe them up. So I don't know, the argument to them is, well, she's in that much dire straits, then won't you do it? What
they
the
get
fuck
some
you
sympathy
talking to
pussy.
me
That's
about
what they're
it?
hoping. Some sympathy pussy, maybe a Skype call from the has-been porn star who's washed up. And then he can PayPal her like $50.
damn.
I mean, yeah, she got 20. Let's say she got 30,000 followers, male followers. Not one of those 30,000. Think about that.
Yeah.
Are interested in fucking with her. You know what I'm saying? But they trying to get on our face with some bullshit. No, man. Out of here with that.
Well, think if she gets $1 from every 30,000 followers, That's 30,000. That's 30,000 bucks. So really, if you think about it, now knock the number down. Let's say 10,000 actually subscribe to her website, sent her money. You know, she's got an Amazon gift page.
Yeah.
She's made 30,000.
Yeah.
You know what? And
Easy.
guess what? They small timing because in China, because I'll be looking at a lot of overseas stuff. These Chinese YouTubers, and them hoes over there, man, they make like 7 figures a year.
Oh god.
You know, they small timing here, and they're not pulling their ass all over the place, and they're not porn stars and nothing like that. All they got to do is giggle and bring in the cash.
Exactly.
If they want to learn how to do it right.
And
if they want to learn how to do it right, you were over there. You want to learn how to do it right, go ahead.
Go to Asia. But this is the other thing is those girls, I know who you're talking about because I'm subscribed to those girls on Twitter too to follow them just to see the shit that they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're not standing on a platform going, I am the champion of family values. They're not fucking doing that.
Right, they just about their money.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're right, and you got some guys run up, defending the subpar. And another thing too is I want somebody, whether anyone listening to the stream or any enemies that come across this video a year from now, go somewhere on the internet and find a place where there's a bunch of women defending subpar men.
Never.
Find it. You know what I mean? Yeah, find it.
No.
I know I'm sounding like that Tommy Sotomayor. Now you're always talking about the contrary point of view. You know what? I grew up on that because that's one of the things my uncle used to do.
Yeah.
He was, constantly. It was like, are they doing it for you? Yeah. So no reciprocity. It's always one-sided.
Absolutely.
And people, they thinking with their organ in their pants, and they ain't, nobody want to step back and look at the picture.
Yeah.
So, and they're pathetic. I think if I was on that thread and if I had all those people coming at me, I'd be like, then won't you step up to the plate and you save her ass? What the fuck you talking to me about it for? And I would have been copying and pasting that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I'm like, where you running? No, don't change the subject. No, won't you save her?
Everybody that I did respond to, everybody I responded to, they were all men, and they were relentless. The men were relentless. I think one woman, I saw one tweet from a woman, and I kind of let it go, but they all blocked me. Conversation lasted a number of tweets, and then they just blocked me because I was hitting them with real shit. I wasn't trying to shame them. I mean, I had a guy, kind of tell, you live in your mom's basement. I'm like, dude, I'm a single father. I'm starting my own business. I fucking traveled to more countries than you've had warm breakfasts. Go fuck yourself. And then these people just run. They run away. They're not genuine. They're not fucking genuine. But this is the thing. We're talking about virtue signaling thoughts. Okay. Now she's an extreme example. She's a porn star. All right. An extreme example, and I want to just mention a little bit about porn as well, because how many male porn stars have Twitter accounts with 300,000 followers, right? Right? How many male porn stars out there with single father male porn stars out there are getting this much respect, standing up for family values? Doesn't fucking exist, man. Give me a break.
Nope. Right. If people don't see that, it's like this big old genre, and you flip the script and it's all gynocentric.
Absolutely.
None of it gynocentric. They don't even know what the word gynocentric is. People are like, what's that word? They don't even know the damn word. That's how sleep they are.
Yeah. And the other thing too is the porn industry is completely gynocentric. Women get paid 10 times as more as men. They get more work. They're famous. They have longevity. And not only that, is that the entire industry and the format of the industry is focused on the woman receiving pleasure. A man is faceless.
You know what? And you know what? I'm getting ready to go out on a limb and say, I'm all for that, because that's what the market bears. That's what the market demands.
Yes.
That's where the money is at.
That's why they do it.
And these sites, they're in business to make money, and they do things in a way that's going to make them money.
Yeah.
But one thing that they're not doing is throwing up a front. They're not trying to say, "Hey, I'm the leader of family value."
Exactly.
Trying to make their money. If you're gonna make your money, make your money. But don't try to front. Don't throw up no front. I'm not going to disrespect. A whole, and they out there admitting them for being a whole. The ones I got no respect for are the hoes trying to fake like they're not, or that virtue signal that you're describing.
Exactly.
Now, as soon as you start fronting that you're one thing and then you ain't, then that's when you're gonna get clowned.
And that's when you get called out, man.
About it and be like, "Hey, look, I'm a hoe." Then I'm like, "Okay, then you're gonna respect that." If they say they virtuous, first of all, a virtuous woman or even a virtuous man don't have to say they're virtuous unless they Muhammad Ali and Donald Trump and got a big, and that's what they do. But those are extreme examples. But a person with virtues, they don't have to state their virtue. An honest man don't have to say they're honest.
No.
An honest woman don't have to say they're honest.
Yeah.
But the minute they gotta say it, and women know that intuitively. If you go to a woman and be like, "I'm an honest man and I would never do anything to hurt you," they will probably look at you in fright. Correctly, because we're like, why the hell did he have to say that? What made him have to say that? What made him feel that he had to say that to me? Well, he must have something that triggers on their mind. He must be up to something. And all that shit going through her mind, she would be correct. Even if that's not the case, that would be correct. But they think they can do it to us and tell us that they're honest. And tell us they're not like that. But they expect us to not be suspicious too. Even though being suspicious under those conditions is not even male or female. That's part of the human condition. But in this gynocracy, only the woman is allowed to be suspicious about a man virtue signaling. She can virtue signal, and then you take her at her word. Do that on the freeway. Do that on the freeway in L.A. and then stop for a female need help, and then here come the carjackers, and then you'll see what a little damsel in distress can do.
Yeah.
They could be even worse than hardcore gangster. And I just gave one example right there. A little petite woman could knock off 5 banks in a day.
Yeah. Well,
nobody even noticed her.
Yeah. Well, that's
right.
I mentioned that on Women's Day, how the fact that the store that I'm currently working at, 95% of the petty theft is from women. Like the women make good thieves, good petty thieves, because people don't look at them.
That's their psychology. Think about that for a second. Men are less likely to steal. What is she trying to do? She wants something. She wants resources.
Yeah, and she's not willing to pay for it.
Real quick, let me share a great story. Speaking of kleptomaniacs, Ayam.
Oh yeah.
My brother volunteered at a charity for a girl that's terminally ill with cancer. Okay, and it's a huge Catholic gathering of. It was about like 200 something people gathered for this girl donating money that she's going to die of cancer. My brother was working in the kitchen to make some extra cash, and he was there for the party. Mm-hmm. My brother's wearing a very expensive set of sunglasses. They were like $300, and he was wearing them when he went in and stuff. And he put them down. He put them down somewhere and was going to get them later when he was done working the party. He goes to see. He notices that the sunglasses are missing. Right, so someone stole them. So he tells my father, "Hey, listen, someone stole my sunglasses." And my dad's like, "No, you're crazy. There's a gathering for a girl with cancer and stuff." And my brother was hell-bent, saying, "No, someone really stole my sunglasses because they're worth a lot of money." Mm-hmm. Turns out, long story short, you know who stole the sunglasses?
A woman.
Oh, it was a woman. It was the one dying of cancer. Yes.
Oh man!
You could not make this up. And when my brother goes over to my father, he says, "Hey, Dad, I found my sunglasses." My father's like, "What? Where are they?" He goes, "They're on her head." And my dad just turned white as a ghost. White as a ghost. Now that my dad's friend is that's the daughter of my dad's friend, so he's like, "Oh my God, how are we gonna get these sunglasses back?" Right? So my brother played it off like, "Oh, thank you, you found my sunglasses. It's so great of you." Like, ripped them off her head. She's dying, bro, and she still stole the sunglasses.
Holy crap!
Of all the people. Because she knew she would, if anything, I was going to be the one that gets away with stealing it because I'm dying. But what's going on in her head, thinking, you know, that you can't take them with you, and that's what my brother said to her. Where do you think you're going with these? It's a Chinese funeral, man. Chinese burial.
You know what? You know what? And that Lawrence Shannon, and he actually included a part in his book, The Predatory Female. Book was written in 1992, and he was mentioning the predatory female's tendency to steal, and their obsession with it. So it's like a lot of stuff we're discovering, and that stuff he wrote that in 1992. That's not his real name, but it's just something about that demographic. When I was a landlord, about 90% of all my evictions were from females on welfare. I got to the point is when they was on welfare, I threw their shit. You know, they ain't getting in my apartment.
That's
they
horrible.
Don't have a job. Huh?
Taking advantage of single mothers on welfare like that.
I didn't mess with Section 8. You know, because you know some of the landlords
they'll trash the place, man.
Man, dude, you know, you had and like back you know where I'm from, you know, you had the city Section 8, and then you had the county Section 8, right? And the county one was the one to get on, you know. So if you were, it just depends on the house and where it was and stuff like that. But the way they had it, where I wouldn't have made no money. You know, sometimes you can make. The only way you're going to make money is with doing that. And if you're an investor, you can attest to what I'm saying. Is you get a building. The best way to get an apartment building is is through a nonprofit. Once you acquire that building, then you basically sell it to yourself, and then next thing you know, you're making 20 G's a month. You know, off that apartment building. That's the way to do it. The conventional route, when you're going to go in there, you put down a down payment, you're going to pay a mortgage, you ain't going to make jack shit. You know, that's the only way that I know of there where you can really make Section 8 work. But you got to have a building. If it's less, you know. So,
if it's a house, it's going to get trashed. It's going to be burnt to the ground.
Man, yeah, they're going to be entitled. They're going to have.
There's a great YouTube channel. There's a great YouTube channel called Section 8 Housing Horror Stories. You gotta look it up.
Man,
Wait a second.
You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
So, okay.
You said, wait a second. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So, when you were talking about Section 8, are you talking about, you were talking about single mother tenants?
You know what? They were all, well, they ain't gonna have married. I mean, shit, I didn't run to married women on welfare. They had fucking jobs.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, man. They had a married motherfucker they need welfare for, man. No, man, it was the single mothers. You know, and then see the reason, like, you probably wonder, he's such a Zen master of eviction, and he knew how to vet so good, and how was he having these evictions? Because the motherfuckers was in the house when I bought the house.
Yeah.
That was already winning, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't buying empty houses. They already had people in it. You know, and then when I started, but my best deals, you know, anybody that want to get into real estate investing, if you can, buy the motherfucker when it's empty. Okay? If it's like a duplex or a triplex, buy it when it's empty, because they just gonna put anybody up in there, and you think you something at the close, and they gonna give you security, and you thinking you're on easy street. You ain't, you know, you're gonna be up shit creek.
No, you need 2 or 3 months security when it comes to people like that, man.
Yeah, and they won't have, and it depends on the area. Where I was from, the market bear at the time, where I'm from in the 90s, it was 1 month security, 1 month's rent. In Chicago, it was 2 months security. You know, down south, you know, you only had to put up a couple hundred. So it depends on the market. You know,
it depends on how easy it is to evict someone. So, like in New York, it's very difficult to evict someone, so they want a lot of money up front. So I don't know and every state's totally different. Some states, it's real easy to throw someone out of your house. Other states, it's their human right. You're denying someone
California
a basic need.
You know what?
California.
That's a you know what? You know, you know, it's like we're not like if I went to a house and they didn't have the money, like you know, I got kids. I'm thinking like, well, bitch, you knew you had kids when you moved in. They didn't just fall out of the sky out of nowhere and you suddenly got kids.
Yeah.
You know, so I wasn't trying to hear. I used to tell them out the gate, I evict fast. And you know, I had a secret rule. Every year they stayed with me, I gave them a month pass if they fell behind, and I
Oh, that's
kept it to
fair.
myself. I kept it to myself. It was a secret rule. So I've
And you
had
got your dick
tennis
suck on the
2 years.
side.
No, that can't. You know what? That's another thing I learned.
Gotta
See,
get your dick wet. Come on,
I
man.
told you I did not. That is not true.
I'd be capitalizing on that
That
situation.
is not true, dude. Remember, I was blue pill. I was blue pill as a landlord. I quit being a landlord in 2006. I got the red pill in 2011. So that means I was blue pill as a landlord. You know, so I wasn't up on that. But no, man,
You're gonna go to your
I've never.
deathbed regretting you never got your dick sucked in that situation.
There's a lot of them that would have been more than well, man.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
awesome.
so I didn't realize the gravity. You know, it's like hindsight is 2020, but how about being red pill, then going back into your 30s hindsight? Now that is some serious 2020 shit.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you get things, you just get a look, and it's a unique look, and that's what I like about it. It's a unique look. You get a lot of simps in my age group, like the ones that was chiming in on that thread, and they want to play revisionist history. They want to sell a lie on how shit was in the 80s. And I tell you exactly what it was, and I've done it before, and I dare them to tell me I'm lying. I dare them to tell me I'm lying because they'll lie to millennials. But one thing that millennials got right is millennials. I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all were critical out the gate, man. In the 80s, they were talking about how the world was gonna change with y'all. In the 80s, because y'all came out the gate asking questions and questioning everything. You know, so it's gonna be hard, you know, for the older simps to run that bullshit by.
Yeah.
You know, but shoot, man, I went all kinds of tangents and everything is recorded.
That's all right, man. Hey, I wanna go back a bit
Yeah.
to a little bit of Jenna Jameson first. Just I want to do one little caveat about that, and then we're gonna move on. But she, again, her claim to fame, according to every cuck that defended her, was that she's a poor single mother who got impregnated by thugs, and now she's a champion. Now she's a Republican champion of family values. Okay, which is a load of shit, and I called her out on it. And I wanna go over some. And the one thing I wanted to say about this to kind of wrap it up with her is that we need to give credit where credit is due. She doesn't deserve credit as a champion of family values, right? She doesn't. But where we can give her credit is in her younger years when she was first able to shove 3 cocks up her asshole. I think that's a great, wonderful achievement that we can give her credit for. Okay?
Yeah, yeah, agree. Yeah, agree. Hey,
Okay.
and another thing, and my thing about single motherhood, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. I already said it to you on a phone conversation, I think yesterday.
Mhm.
If she skipped the morning after pill without a wedding ring, if she skipped the morning after pill without a wedding ring, that means she chose to be a single mother.
Absolutely.
She wasn't tricked into it. Didn't nobody force her to get on her back and be like,
Yeah.
okay, you gonna be no. If you do those 2 things, then they chose it. They chose
Okay.
single motherhood.
Look at. I sent you guys a link in the chat window of our talk here. It's an article called "Why I Don't Respect Single Mothers." Now you guys can open it if you want to look at it. If you can. If not, I want to just kind of briefly go through it. I don't think.
I'm gonna go on.
Yes.
I'm gonna look, but I don't know if I'm gonna get feedback.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know if
Make
I'm
sure.
gonna get feedback or whatever because I'm brand new. But no, I'm going online now. My internet connection mysteriously went back up right after I said fuck it.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's been
just
up.
see
Hold
if you can see the article, but I'm going to read off of it anyway. I wanted to bring.
okay.
Yeah, I wanted to bring this up. Now, again, what Geno just said about if a woman doesn't have a ring on her finger and she gets knocked up by some thug, it's her choice. It wasn't. She didn't get tricked into single motherhood, and this is the thing. The reality, the biological facts and reality is this: a man can get tricked into fatherhood quite easily. It's called sperm jacking or hiding or paternity fraud, and this happens all the fucking time. All right, it's very easy, but you can't trick a woman into single motherhood. The only way I could consider it is if you jerked off into your hand, right, and then you shoved the sperm up your sleeping girlfriend's vagina. That's the only way you can fucking...
Now that's
even then
that's
she
some
got 9 months,
insemination, man.
and even then she got her entire pregnancy to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if
Absolutely.
you have sex with her, if you have sex with her without consent, felony, rape. If you tell her to have the baby, you know, if you make her go with you to have sex, felony, kidnapping. If you make her have the baby, felony, extortion.
Yeah.
So any step of the way to stop a female from having a kid is a fucking felony.
Yeah, not the other way around. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Not the other way around. So I want to go through this article. I'm going to put the article into the chats of the live stream so that our viewers can read it if they want to, along with us.
Chats of the.
Oh wait, turn off our mute our video so we don't get a feedback there. Yeah.
No, I didn't. No, I just muted it. I don't see the link in here. No, I'm closing the tab. I'm just going to get off the live stream.
Okay.
It's going to get confusing.
Well, I just put it in the I put it in the Facebook chat. But anyway, I want to go through the article here.
Okay.
And the first point that this guy makes is it says, "Women leave, men grieve." And he wants to put this, he says, "I'm starting with this because I feel it's far and away the most important point for justifying the double standard." Again, double standard will come up a lot if you listen to our chats. 60 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women. All right, now that's a statistic that I threw at these fucking Republican cucks.
Right.
Because if you want to feel sympathy for a single mother, just understand that around 70% of all divorces are started by women.
I'm on the phone.
Okay. It also talks about single relationships, unmarried relationships, and he says that even in unmarried relationships, 20% of women have never been dumped. So 80% of the women do the dumping. So when a woman is single, there's a very good chance, whether she's been married, whether she's been pregnant, or whether she's single, the chances are it was her choice.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You're good.
Breaking up a little bit.
You're good.
Yeah.
Okay. The second reason he says here is they don't have good reasons for leaving. And this is another thing that I've brought up a number of times, is that why do women get divorced? Do they get divorced because the husband cheated on them, the husband was abusive? And in fact, the lion's share of divorces are not only done by women, but their reason for doing it is very simple. And this is what he says. He goes, "Women left anyway because the man was playing too much golf or poker, wasn't paying enough attention to her." That's the number one reason. Is this gynocentric unsatisfaction because the man has hobbies and she is not his number one attention source. You understand? That's why these women are getting divorced.
And I think the underlying thing is the welfare state. They got a safety net.
Yeah.
They got family courts where they can strip a man of his resources, whether she's married to him or not. And then you know, like on Facebook, you hear everybody saying child support, alimony, child support, alimony. Look, it's child support, it's alimony, it's child care, it's insurance, it's mortgage payments, it's all of those things you have to pay to stay out of jail. You know, so and they know that. That's what women go for. That's why they leave the relationship over bullshit, because they got a safety net. Me and you and Nick. They know that our money and resources as net taxpayers are going to bail her out. And do they thank us? Do they thank us for that? No. They call us rapists. They attack you in the chats. They want to be
Look, it's a
worshipped.
single mother industrial complex.
And a single mother industrial comp, and you know it's funny because single mothers, women aside, okay, we could separate taxpayers between men and women, but let's separate even further to single mothers. Like, how many single mothers are actually contributing tax dollars to the system?
None.
Net taxes, net taxes. No, let me tell you. See. Let's say a single mother listens to this thread right now. You know the bitch gonna be like, "Oh, I had to pay tax when I bought a box of cereal. When I bought my cigarettes, I had to pay tax." That's why I said net taxes. I got that for church month. Net taxes, okay? They don't pay net taxes.
Yeah.
If you take what you pay and you subtract what you get,
Yeah.
okay? If it's a number where you paying and you paying taxes, otherwise you ain't paying shit, and they don't pay nothing.
Well, maybe
so we supporting them, and they demonize us.
Yeah. Maybe
And then when we say something, they call it complaining and bitching and moaning.
Maybe
I'm like, no shit. It's part of the human condition to be angry if your efforts aren't appreciated.
absolutely.
That's
And
part of that's being human.
maybe this is the reason why Jenna Jameson spat out that tax bracket comment to me, because she's an exception to single mothers. She just happens to be an ex-porn star single mother. So somehow that puts her on a level a little bit ahead of your average single mother. You see, the average
She's a
single...
saint, Ayam. She needs to be canonized.
Just because, and then you know what? Just because she's in that tax bracket don't mean that's what she's actually paying. She's in a bracket. That don't mean she's paying shit. She's in a
True.
bracket, okay?
Very true.
About time you're done with the deductions and stuff like that, you know, I mean, shit. You just heard the way I'm talking. You know, I hire an accountant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not that cut and dry. Oh, I'm attacking this when I'm paying. Yeah, but you got the deductions and things like that. And one of the first things my accountant asked me when I was in the business was, "You got kids?" You know, then because you're like, yeah, you can get all kinds of deductions for having kids.
Yeah, you get all
like
perks. That money.
I mean, let me
makers,
tell you
dude.
how. Let me tell you how cushy these single mothers are. These single mothers are in such cushy conditions and doing so well. Do you know that they used to say, you can use my kid as a deduction. You give me $500 and I'll let you put my kid on the taxes. That's the kind of shit that they'll do. So they'll get an extra 10, 15, grand, that extra two couple of grand on top of the tax return money.
Yeah.
Hey, you put my kid on the
Geno,
taxes.
that's nothing. Geno, in New York, like I had a broker was showing this house to a single mom. She had 2 kids, right? And she wanted to live in like this certain neighborhood. And she, he was explaining to her, the single mom, like, oh, you can't afford it. And she goes, well, she was factoring in out loud, well, if I have another kid, I would be having more money, and I think it would be enough money to afford that house. She said that out loud to the broker.
Wow. That's fucked up.
And that's how they think. Like A for the they used to have this thing called A of DC, A for the dependent children. It's welfare, and basically they give you free money for having the kid, only the women, of course. And then the more kids you had, the bigger check you had.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna say right now, I was a landlord in Wisconsin. The reason that's gonna make sense is because toward the late '90s, when the Republican Governor Tommy Thompson wrote W-2, where it's like welfare to work program in Wisconsin, when he signed that into law in the late '90s and killed the AFDC program, overnight, I went from a stack of AFDC rental applications to SSI applications. They put all their kids on disability overnight.
Yeah.
So they just gaming. And Terrence Pop got a video called System Servers that he breaks that shit down, man. I think it's called System Surfers, and that's what they do. They surf the system. And what I experienced as a landlord years ago is just a microcosm of what they do. It's a scam. It's what they do. They're gonna find a way to get free shit, and that's what it's all about. And they want to front like they're independent.
Well,
That's why they hate. I mean, I hope they heard it. Go ahead.
let me interject with some anecdotal, something anecdotal of my own experience. I'm a single father. I'm in Canada now. It was Asia, but now I'm in Canada. There's no fucking benefits in Asia for anybody, but now that I'm in Canada, the Canadian government gives me some money because I have this kid, because I'm a single father. But I still work full time, you know, and I have to manage me taking care of the place I'm living in, taking care of my son, making sure his school is going well. I mean, I'm managing all of this stuff as a single father. And my benefits are very, very few. Like, there's no way I could afford not. How could I not work? I have to work. I can't even imagine not working. Now, cut to my neighbor, who is a single mother with two children. They're both a little bit younger than my son, but she's a single mother, and her son comes over sometimes to play with my son on his PlayStation, right? So I know her, and she hasn't worked for 2 years.
Damn.
I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? How do you fucking?
She doesn't think about it. She doesn't think of it. You're thinking it through a logical, pragmatic lens. Women don't think that way.
Like, I don't get it. Like, how the fuck?
She's just doing it.
Yeah,
she just does it.
Unbelievable, man.
It feels good. It's completely emotional. Yeah, Nick's right there. Yeah,
You know,
you can't assign logic to that because there ain't no logic.
Well, I
That's
remember
true.
knocking on her door one. I think it was one. I had to go to her place. She had moved, right? And I had to go to her place because my kid wanted to play with her kid, but suddenly had moved to a different location in the place we're at. It's like a set of condos. So I had to go knocking on her door one morning, like, because I'm up early every day, take care of my kid. So I go knocking on her door one morning. It was maybe 9 in the morning to just confirm that she had moved to this place, to this location. And I knock, no response. Because when I went to her old place, they were gutting it, and they're like, "Oh, she moved to that one." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll go over there." So I knock on the door, and no response. Knock again. Then I'm about to walk away. Suddenly she comes to the door. She's fucking filthy, been sleeping all morning, just looks fucking unkept and horrible. I'm like, "Oh shit, sorry to bother you, but I just wanted to make sure that this is where your new place was, because, you know, if my kid wants to play with your kid, blah blah blah." But my point is that this single mother hasn't worked for 2 years. I don't know how she's taking care of these kids. I just don't get it, and she's filthy.
Well, the light, like for example, like this light switch I turn on and off.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's on and off because I pay the bill. The lights don't keep themselves on; they got to be paid. So if she ain't working, that means somebody else is paying the lights.
Maybe it's one of her baby, because I know this. Her 2 children are from 2 different guys, right? So she's probably getting money there somehow. I don't know.
Or she could be, or maybe she could be scamming. All she got to do is catfish a fake account, and then get some simp over in California, and mail her out some money.
That's true, man.
And get a few of them accounts working up, get a few of them working. You know, and that's done all over the world.
Yeah.
I mean, this female's all over the world running that scam.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got these tricks. You know, this mail them money. They come with sob story after sob story, and then you got next thing you know, you got a stream of income.
Yeah.
You know, so there's all kinds of ways. So I'm not saying that I couldn't go ahead and do it too, but no, I'm not, because I'm not a fucking bitch. That's why. But I'm just saying, but. You know, but yeah, there's a lot of.
This is the thing. This gets into a lot of the morality choices that women make, the moral choices. Because when it comes down to it, a single mother has the option of basically a woman who let's say has a child with another man, whether married or not, has an option to destroy that man's life and the child's life to get this extra benefit from the government and sort of live out her hedonistic fantasies. This self-pleasure. She has that choice, she has that choice, and so often women make that choice. And I think it tells a lot about just an individual. You can tell a lot about an individual based on the choices they can make, they are allowed to make, even if they're bad choices.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm talking about. You or I might kind of we have a little bit of ability to self-reflect, and we understand a little bit about morality. We wouldn't go through those processes. That would be the last thing we'd want to commit to. But it seems as though a large percentage of women are able to make that sort of immoral decision at the drop of a hat, mind you. I don't think it takes them a long time to contemplate it, but they're able to make that sort of immoral decision, which causes a lot of problems. And again, I'll quickly just spout out some statistics from this article again. And these statistics are old. Most MGTOW know them. 85% of children that show behavioral problems come from fatherless homes. 63% of
Well,
youth.
you know what? Hey,
Go ahead.
hey,
Go ahead.
real quick, when you say the statistics are old, our detractors go back 10,000 years. Talk about, you repressed us for 10,000 years. When you give them a fact that's more than 2 years old, they say, oh, man, fuck that. Ain't nothing old. If they can go back 10,000 years, we can go back 20.
Yeah, that's right.
I ain't trying to hear that.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's too old shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, so
and I never hear that discussed.
yeah, so and then 63% of youth suicides are from fatherless homes. Remember, I'm saying fatherless. Okay, this is single motherhood, fatherless homes. 90% of homeless children and runaways come from fatherless homes. 71% of all high school dropouts come from fatherless homes. Okay, these are well-known statistics that have been floating around for a long time, and there's a lot of different studies on them. Now,
let me ask this: have there been any studies done on fatherlessness this century?
Oh yeah, absolutely. These statistics have been done in the last decade. Less. I mean, these are not.
Decade?
Yeah, easily. These things have been done in the last decade. These are because you have to understand fatherlessness is a new phenomenon. You go back 3 generations and there was much less fatherlessness in the family structure. This is a change that has come about in the last half a century. You go back 50 years and every household you went into had a father in the home. Not today.
Right.
It's not the same
The thing about one thing I can say, particularly in a black community, I don't know if they were doing this in a white community, but in the 70s, because I was born in '69,
Yep.
all my younger brothers were born in the '70s, and my younger cousins, stuff like that, they were all born in the '70s. So I was aware, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? My mother and aunt were twins, and the government would mailed them I found this out later. Like when my mother was pregnant with my 41-year-old brother,
Mm-hmm.
when she was pregnant with him,
Mm-hmm.
the state mailed her a welfare check. They put her right on welfare. Then that said, here's the money.
Yeah.
And you know what my mother and my aunt did? This was in the 70s. You know what my mother and my aunt did? They gave the money back and kept their men.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? They gave the money back, kept them in. Now you got me, right? Me, all and all my brothers, we all have college degrees. I'm self-employed. I have 3 of us are self-employed. One's in middle management. So we're not doing bad with growing up with male influence.
Yeah.
We're basically a typical example of people who grew up around me. We're typical, So they basically decided to keep the money. Didn't nobody put a gun to their head and said, "Take this money"?
Yes.
They wasn't like, "Oh man, I'm doing so bad," or "What am I gonna do?" No, they were mailing out money. Say, here's some money, take it here.
Yeah.
That's what they're not telling you. That's what they're keeping a secret. And I hope anyone that's listening to this, get it out there, because it's not on the internet. What I just said is not on the internet. Get it out there. It did happen. Yeah. I have a brother that was born in '76. Got one that was born in '78. Cousin that was born in 1980. I was fucking there. Okay, and that's what they were doing.
Handing
they
it
were
out.
Trying to pay the woman to get the man out of the house.
Yeah. There was a push and a drive to get the man out of the house and to have a single mother. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. One is you immediately, and in my opinion, if you can pay a woman to be a single mother, then you've automatically got a voter for the Democrats. You chalked another one up. Women make up the largest population of voters, and they vote mostly Democrat. And same with minorities. So
Yep.
this to me that method was a way to manipulate the voting population. Throw the man out of the house, because traditionally, even right when around the time you're talking about, maybe a couple decades before that, traditionally, a household voted the direction of the man. So if the man voted Republican, so did his sons, his daughters, and his wife. All right, an entire household voted in one direction, and it was patriarchal in that sense. You know, fast forward.
I'm gonna ask my grandmother. I'm gonna ask my grandmother about that. I'm curious. Go ahead.
But yeah, this
So
is
look, it's very simple. Are these things destructive or not? Is single motherhood destructive? Is welfare destructive? These things are. So we can safely assume the government is not looking out for the best interest of the people.
yes, absolutely.
Right.
And
No, I don't know. No, what I was saying, I was gonna ask my grandmother that did she vote along the lines of my
of her
grandfather,
husband, yes, I guarantee you she did, man.
her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, man, because you have to think about it. I mean, political decisiveness, on one sense, look, political differences can make an unhappy household. And in the older days, a woman was generally considered, even in the West, a woman was generally considered to kind of follow the man. The man was the leader of the household. This isn't science fiction. This is the way it used to be. And so,
It's ballet, man.
Right. Today's the opposite.
Ballet.
Yeah, today's the opposite. She can on one phone call, you're out the door.
yeah, it's completely been turned around. But back in those days, it was generally the woman would follow the man as the head. I mean, he was sort of the head. He made the bigger decisions, and that was generally what was concerned. I mean, there was always an interplay between the two, between the man and the woman. You know, there was always an interplay that worked. But generally, the man was considered the head of the household, and when it came down to voting, they followed the man. So, what you're saying is that the government started handing out money to mothers to basically get rid of the men. Here you go. What you don't need that. That is
correct.
Man. Yeah, you don't need that man to pay to pay your way. You don't need that man to work full time to support you and your children. We'll do it. Here's the money. Now go vote for us. And the women, and this is the thing, the women, the character of these women, it tells a lot. They did it without question. So many of them, and they still do it to this day.
Yes, yeah. Because I know back in my you know, in the early '90s, single motherhood, it was 50-50, and it was seen as 50% of at least black women were single. And single motherhood was at 50%, and it was seen as a crisis. That's when you had a lot of those like books come out. That's when Farrakhan really started blowing up, and you had Scheherazade Ali come out. You had Frances Cress Welsing come out. They were all talking about the crisis of 50%. Now it's like 70%.
Yes.
You know, and everybody, and you got the millennials. Since my generation is full of shit. And they didn't tell the millennials anything about all this shit was being discussed before, and it's not on the internet. They're just going out and repeating the same shit. You know, how about that's the reason why, you know, that's why you go your own way, because I've been watching this. I've been an adult for 3 decades, so I've watched the shit play out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's best just to walk away from the shit. Don't even play the game.
Absolutely.
You know,
that's the point.
Yep.
Now I want to go.
Yep.
I'm going to hit on a few more issues that I found in articles about kind of what we've been discussing here, and again, it has to do with thought virtue signaling. It has to do with lifting women up onto a platform they don't deserve. For example, like I've mentioned before, a washed out porn star, all right, who with the image search of her name, you'll see her gaping brown eye is now saying she's a fucking a champion of a champion of fucking family values. Go fuck yourself. All right. So that's the example. That's the example we led off with. Now I want to go into this article. I'm going to send it to you guys in the Facebook.
Let me see if I can
chat.
Look at it in the Facebook without disconnecting.
I'm
not
don't
even going to risk it.
Don't worry about it. I'm going to read it.
I got Nick down as not in call for some reason.
I'm here.
Still here?
Oh yeah, he's there. Okay, good.
Oh, never mind. Okay, let me. You know what? I'm gonna put my cell phone right back down where it was. All right, moving on.
Okay, so I got. Oh, in the chats, Wella should be. Oh my God, is this live? Absolutely, it's live. The quality might not be very great because we've been trying it with Facebook and it's not working too great. But whatever, we're plowing through. Okay, so I got this article here. I sent it to you guys. This is from Squawker, and I have another one to source from, if in case we have to. But this one says a female-led construction company built the Florida bridge that collapsed. Now, did you guys hear about this Florida bridge that collapsed?
No.
Okay.
Yep, I heard about it. Yeah.
Okay. Nick never heard about it. So this article came out 2 days ago. So there's this. Let me read a bit. Florida had a horrible tragedy in Parkland. We won't get into that. But a bridge spontaneously collapsed earlier on Thursday. The two companies responsible for the poorly constructed bridge were MCM and FIG. Both have a sketchy history when it comes to construction. But for today's purposes, we're going to focus on MCM because there's a valuable lesson that can be learned here. The lesson is that there are some things that women shouldn't do. Though MCM is owned by 5 brothers, a lot of people, one rung down the ladder from them, are women. Some of the construction workers are even women. How ironic is it then that earlier this month, MCM was slapped with a lawsuit for hiring incompetent, inexperienced, unskilled, and careless employees? The bridge came down, guys, and here's a quote from Leonor Flores, an MCM project executive. Okay, this woman, MCM project executive. Here's a quote from her. It is very important for me as a woman, of course, as a woman, and an engineer, to be able to promote that to my daughter, because I think women have a different perspective. We are able to put in an artistic touch, and we're able to build too. Now, to finish off. No, you can't build things. The bridge collapsed for no other reason than terrible structure. The death toll is currently at 6. The number is likely to rise. Now, what happened was apparently a main support structure was left out because apparently this executive says that aesthetics is more important than structural engineering. It killed 6 fucking people, man. Right? This bridge collapsed. What's that?
Now, my opinion on that, it might surprise some people or whatever. I am not against female engineers. I'm not against female-run engineering companies or women building fucking bridges. I'm not against it at all. But have the same meter and standard that's applied to everyone.
No, but they don't.
Don't backtrack. Yeah, all this affirmative action, diversity, hire. Don't give extra money because they're a woman. Don't give extra money because they're this or that. No, across the line. Basically, if anybody ever seen Terrence Potts' video, Can't Cut the Mustard.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, basically, it's can't cut the mustard across the board. Okay, as long as you can make the cut and you can do it, then yeah, you could do it. But if you're only in there, and if you got a music major, pull off that Equifax debacle, some kind of dumbass diversity hire that don't know what the fuck they doing, then it's bullshit. And then they're incompetent. They don't need to be there. And as a matter of fact, in general, they don't need to be even messing around with that. They don't need to be messing around with that. They need to get into sewing of some seamstress
Well,
or get into some other shit because the records speak for itself.
well, and apparently this MCM, I'm looking at a picture right now of the head the head engineers. There's 5 women. There's 5, and actually there's three black women, 1 white woman, and maybe a mix. I can't tell.
Right, and do they have a rep? Do they have a reputation? I mean, are they good at
No,
what
they have a horrible reputation. Like, look, it says here.
Oh, see, okay, yeah, then they're garbage. And then fuck them then. Fuck them. They need to take their ass back to the kitchen. And notice I asked you if they were good first. Notice that.
Yeah.
You know, and no, you know, and if they were, oh, what if they, you know, you get a lot of people, somebody listening, I can hear a mangina listening then to a thread, and they're like, oh, what they were mid and the biz collapse. And you know what? Them motherfuckers need to get their asses in the kitchen too. Okay? If you're no good, then you need to be doing something else.
It says they were slapped with a lawsuit. They've been slapped with a lawsuit for hiring incompetent, inexperienced, unskilled, and careless employees. That's what the lawsuit's for, man. And every one of those employees, the lion's share of those employees, are women. So this company MCM has basically gone ahead with this sort of diversity hire philosophy, and it's cost people's lives.
What wasn't even a real bridge, man. It was a walkway. How fucking pathetic.
It was a walkway. Yes, it was a walkway in an airport.
That's sad.
You know,
and it's pretty basic. That's like preschool shit. Little Tykes building for a construction company.
Yeah, man. It's not like they were trying to, you know, span.
Yeah, build an Empire State Building.
Yeah, or span the Grand Canyon or any kind of shit like that. It was a walkway over a road, man.
Well, you have to understand what is driving these type of companies to get the government bids. Is you have something called DBE, MBE, and WBE, minority-based enterprise, disadvantage-based enterprises, and women-based enterprises. And if you get all 3 of those qualifications, you automatically get the contract from the government to do that job. So it's not about who's going to do the right job, it's who's at a disadvantage. So a disadvantaged business would be one that's actually in debt, right? Or a startup, okay? Or the owner is probably disabled or something like that. Then you have a woman-based enterprise that if it's a business owned by a woman, they go to the front line. And then MBE, which is a minority-based enterprise, they get to go up the front. So if you're an illegal woman whose business is completely underwater and you need money and you need revenue, you get to go to the front of the line for the contracts.
Yes.
You know what, and that's what pissed me off. What about those 6 people that died?
Absolutely.
What about them? What about their families?
Casualties for the greater good. We need equality and
what did they have to go through? What about them?
We don't talk about that.
What about their lives?
This is about the same outcome.
You know what?
Yeah,
that's what I have to say. Yeah, that's what I have a problem with. What about those deceased? You know,
yeah, but we don't care about that.
Political
correctness. You have to have the same outcome.
Yeah. Well, look at it.
Yeah.
It says here in the comments in the article, it says MCM appears to be Hispanic, minority,
Cuban, it's
owned.
Cuban.
Oh, Cuban owned, meaning that it gets favorable treatment in the bidding and selection process. So you're right, Nick. So these guys are getting.
I know. I'm in the business. I know how it goes.
They give them the goddamn contract just because they're fucking dark.
Yes, and if they're a woman, it even goes. And if your business is failing, you get to go to the front of the line.
Holy shit! So if you're an incompetent female Cuban business owner,
yes, you get tens of millions of dollars
to build a bridge.
Yes. I'm serious. This is seriously happening, and this has been around for I think probably close to a decade now. This all came under Obama, from what I understand.
Oh yeah, I imagine. I guarantee you that. But this is amazing. I wonder. This story came to my attention, but I wonder, like, the United States is a very large piece of land. Now, there's a lot of bridges going up and down all over the place. I wonder I wonder how many architectural failures or engineering failures can be blamed on this exact same thing in the last, let's say, in the last decade.
It's still too soon to tell.
Yeah.
You have to wait. You have to wait a little bit longer for. Again, how old was this one? When was this built? I didn't really get to look.
And then I say, me personally, I'm like, don't wait. Get some fucking ears out there and check those damn bridges and make sure they stay up. You know, I say, yeah, get them out there and check.
Now,
and make
mind
sure
you,
they're going to remain standing.
These type of
Don't wait till
concepts,
them to fall.
these economic type of concepts are fraught with corruption. Rife with corruption, because let's say you have you're a heavy construction supplier, and you have kind of a monopoly on the heavy construction supplies in a certain state. The government knows that you have a bit of a monopoly on this, so they want to steer the business away from the monopoly. Now, I agree with that. I understand what you're trying to do. But what if the owner of the heavy construction supply company has a sister?
Right.
Oh, now you get to give half the business to the sister, so she gets the contract because she's disadvantaged and she's a woman, right? So pretty much like the monopoly now splinters off and takes advantage of these type of loopholes.
That's amazing. I'm looking at the Fox News article now of it, and it says it was a $14.2 million pedestrian bridge. It was supposed to open next year. Like, the fucking thing just went up, man.
You mean, wait, yeah, guess what? And think about it. The bridge didn't even hold cars.
No.
They couldn't keep the bridge up to help people.
Yeah,
Right.
man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Yeah.
how incompetent can you be?
Look, dude, you guys, it just went up. Like, it wasn't even wear and tear that brought it down. It fucking just went up.
And you got inspectors. They're supposed, whenever there's any kind of construction, there are inspectors whose only job is to go around and make sure the shit is right, and they come in at each step. You know, once you once you dig it, it's a step. You got to get a check.
Okay.
Once let's say you dig a hole and then you fill it with cement. Well, if that dirt wasn't checked for how packed it was before you fill it in with cement, the city will come in there and make you tear it apart
And do it again.
because so the motherfucker want to do it again.
Yeah.
And I agree, because that way we continue living. Because when bridges collapse, people die.
Yes.
Dig that motherfucker up. I don't care how mad you get.
Yeah.
You wait for the inspector to come in there, so it's not like, okay, we just did this one thing and then we just had the inspector look at everything. No, inspector come in. Nah, I've only bought existing structures. I've never built nothing before. I have a brother built his house, but I've never done that before. It's a step by step. So foundation laid, take a look at it. The framework is up, take a look at it. You lay the foundation down and take a look at it. Finished project, then take a look. So all those fucking inspections that's supposed to be done by engineers. I don't care if they're male or female, as long as they good. Preferably female, preferably male, because female should be cooking something for the man. So when he get home from engineering, he have a plate. But
Son of a bitch. And
so you're saying that all these inspectors is come in after these steps, and that's how construction's done, at least in America. That's how it's done. Construction of shit, and everybody missed, and nobody caught nothing.
Yeah.
Or maybe all these engineers they were all women too.
It's possible, but not only that, but I think because of this kind of diseased mindset of this diversity hire and the whole liberalist concept, is we've got, I think even inspectors would come in and do a shit job.
Yeah, and I just proved on this stream how important their job is. I've just proved how important it is, and everybody involved got to be good at their shit. Yeah. And it can't be no weak link. And even then, if it's a weak link, then then they should, somebody should be able to catch it.
Yeah.
In China, I know in parts of Asia, I know in China you can catch criminal charges, for fucked up shoddy work.
Absolutely. But this is the thing. Look, in the comments, Rusky says the state of Florida blamed it on discriminatory procurement rules. I don't understand really what that means. Like, procurement of what?
Money. They discriminated, probably because they discriminated against a company that could have done a better job.
Right. Okay.
And he used long words. And you know what? And in responding to that, I'm sure that's true. In my opinion, the deeper reason is they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They went in there and didn't know what they were doing. 6 people died.
Yep. And it was only open for 5 days.
Because even if there was some shenanigans, you got somebody that's good, that's doing it, at least the damn bridge, just like in Chicago when they be doing their little moves and getting hooked up, but everybody know what the hell they doing. Nothing collapses, everybody get paid, and you move on to the next. That's how they do it in Chi-Town. They've been doing like that for years.
Okay, Mikhail says supply chain of procurement of materials.
It's big. You know what? There's big money. There's big money in that. There's big money. I'm talking about shady money. It's big money in that shit.
Well, the point is, though, is like you can't. The competence of the workers has to be questioned, absolutely. And the reason why it has to be questioned is because if you're hiring for diversity quotas, you're not hiring for quality.
Wow, you are so not American, Ayam. That's not how it works in America. It's the other guy's fault. I'm a victim because my daddy touched me when I was a child. I was distracted that day because my husband was complaining about the kitchen not being clean. See, I should see my husband. Therefore, it's my husband's fault, so he's the one that should go to jail. That's America.
Damn. But if they're blaming the materials, but not even what they're saying in
the materials are from Mexico, by the way. CMEX is the concrete company is Mexican. Just FYI.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So they couldn't find an American company. They couldn't find any Americans.
Well, no, and in fact, CMEX, the Mexican concrete company, happens to be the #1 front runner for supplying the concrete to Trump's wall. So the wall that's going to be built to keep Mexicans out is actually going to be built by the Mexicans. How do you like that?
Okay, so the materials.
I already see a problem.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think that wall's going to be like? You know they're going to do a really bad job. They're like, "Fuck this guy. We're going to build this thing of sand and seashells."
Right. And think about it. And then you got they doing all this generous shit. It's not like they're gonna run to an American company and be like, "Hey, can you build our wall? Can you come down to her?" The only way they'll do that is because of the engineers. If it's some engineering shit, then they're gonna ask Americans to do it.
But listen, I don't know where there's a big fallacy about the mason guys, bricklayers from Central America being good bricklayers. They're really not good bricklayers. It's just because that's who's doing the work, you automatically assume, oh wow, look at all the Mexican bricklayers, they must be good at what they do. No, they're actually really bad at laying bricks.
Well,
Greeks are, from my experience, Greeks are the best.
Okay, well, in this situation, we've got cement from Mexico and diversity hire women engineers.
That's correct.
And the result was 5 days after 5 days of standing, it collapsed under its own weight and killed 6 people.
Nice.
Yeah.
You built a bridge that couldn't even hold up people. Yeah. I mean, I could see if a car went across a truck bridge, but this is a bridge with people walking across, and they couldn't even do that right.
No.
And then inspectors, you had all those inspectors that's supposed to be going in and taking a look. At least do your job. Be like, hey, I'm doing my job. I have a service community. I don't want anyone. I don't want a woman pushing a stroller and the bridge collapsed and killed a woman and then killed her baby. Do it for that. Do it for that reason. Do the fucking inspection.
They killed a white baby, a white female baby. Oh, you'll never hear the end of it.
Do it for
you get more regulation.
Do your job.
then Fox News posts a picture of that precious little white baby. Oh, the white baby died. That could have been my little Tiffany, right? And then let's be real. If it was a black baby, no one would be fucking bitching about it. Am I right? Whatever. Yeah, you deserve it.
Okay, so
single mom. It was a single mom pushing that stroller.
Okay, so I want to go on to another article here, and this is the one you sent me, Nick. I'm gonna send this to the chat as well, but I don't want, like, I'm not sharing the screen because some of the ads on this site are not safe for work, my friend. So I'm gonna.
You know what? I'm not even picking up my phone because I'll find a way to drop out of the chat because this is the first time me ever doing it. So I'm playing it safe.
So you have a Wi-Fi superstition, is that correct?
No. This is This is the first time I did a stream. I tried to get on, Skype. That didn't work. Try to do.
I'm gonna stand in the corner of this room and not move from it. If I move from this spot,
it's like I've been bumbling along. Since last night, so I'm in here. I got a connection, so I'm just gonna chill. I'm not going up looking at the damn.
Don't you move?
As soon as my internet connection dropped, I hopped over to my phone, so I can get back online. And I've been on my phone. My internet connection was only down for like 30 seconds. I said, fuck it. I'm just going to continue with the phone. As I get better and as I learn how to do this, then I'll be a little bit more comfortable with everything.
All right. No problem, man.
As long as my voice can be heard and I can hear everybody, just like I was saying last night, this is all new to me.
All right, so I want
I'm happy.
I've sent the article to the viewers, and it's on. I've seen this article in other sites, but the one that Nick gave me was from Best Gore. It's not really it's not really a safe for work site, but anyway, I'm reading from it. The headline says Oklahoma female bail bond agent shoots client dead in cold blood, gets away scot-free. Now here's the story. Now I actually saw this before you sent it to me, Nick. It was popping up in different feeds on Twitter and Facebook. But it says here in the article, in Stillwater, Oklahoma, a female bail bond agent was filmed on her own hidden camera shooting dead in cold blood a client. 41-year-old Chastity Carey of Signature Bail Bonds in Stillwater was found not guilty of first-degree murder of 38-year-old Brandon James Williams. Now, I wish you could see this video, Geno, because it's fucking disturbing as hell.
Oh, I'll get on my computer. Hey, I'm doing the streams on my phone, so that means I can still go on Best Gore.
Yeah.
I go on my computer.
Okay, you know. So
let me go. Let me go to Best Gore.
Okay, so the article is it's Oklahoma female bail bond agent shoots client dead in cold blood. Now, I watched the video before you sent this to me, Nick. I watched the video and there was no sound to it, but the climax of the video.
I had sound.
Did you have sound? Mine didn't have sound when I watched it for some reason. But
he goes, "Ow! You fucking shot me."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. So this chick.
She pulled the gun so quick.
Yeah, murdered him, man.
And he was facing away from her.
Yeah.
He was climbing out the window. I don't know if you understand the whole background. He was climbing out the window to run away.
Yeah.
And she shot him. The big question is, you just shot him.
Now. Yeah.
But the question is, he just shot. Should you just call the police to go and pick him up? Like, why'd you have to shoot him? Like, where do you think he's going? Right? You see what I'm saying? This doesn't make any sense. There has to be more to the story. We don't know what went on in that courtroom. So, it's hard for us to say, but it doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't look good for her.
Do you know the time step of this video? Because right now I'm trying to find the timestamp. I'll just keep going until I see a body drop.
No, there's no body drop because he climbs out the window.
Oh man.
I know.
Oh, so you mean the actual shooting is not in this video?
No, you see her shoot,
but you see her.
So
you see her pull the trigger.
Bail bond.
Wait a minute. Hold on, I had to turn the sound down so it wouldn't be. I don't.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do.
No.
I'll share the screen. I'll share the screen for the viewers, and we'll watch this 3 minute and 19 seconds. So, guys, I'm
Oh,
gonna.
so let me go 3 minutes 19. Okay, I just.
Okay, I'm gonna share screen here. All right, guys, here it is.
Is this people? Is it like 3 people sitting at a desk?
Yes. Yes.
No, you're a boy, ain't you? You just got out of jail. Ouch. That's really conducive.
Oh yeah, I didn't know what I was doing.
Well, look, I'll trade you right now. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I hit on your mom nonstop. Well, no, I don't.
Our listeners can see it, but you guys might not.
Where's the marrow at, dude? What happened?
Is she in uniform? I don't see anybody in uniform.
No, she's not in uniform. She's just in a t-shirt behind the desk.
He didn't look at
Don't
it.
drive that Mustang with boots. With heavy
Oh.
steel boots, don't. Just letting you know.
I know how that is.
Yeah.
My Camaro is 60, so it could be 60.
Oh shit! She's a murderer.
Like transmission on the Camaro, the T66 is good.
You gotta be kidding me.
They got a lot of plastic.
I'm just watching the lead up
She's
to it.
found not guilty of that shit. I just saw where she shot. She was not guilty of that. That was cold blood. He didn't even attack her.
Fords are expensive, dude.
Well, what I'm watching right now, the viewers can see, is he's having a chat, like a friendly chat with the kid beside him and her.
Absolutely gorgeous.
That's freaking gorgeous.
I like it.
Yeah, that was murder. Hey, another thing. Hey, remember I told you?
Hold on a second.
Hold
Hold on a second. I'm just. Now he's getting her. He's asking him to go against the wall.
What do you mean?
Turn around.
Now they want to handcuff him.
I'm going to sit and talk to you in cups. We're going to have a chat. Turn around.
Well, I'm not giving no cups.
Yeah, actually you are.
For what?
I've got PD on the web where you can turn around and put your hands behind your back.
She wants to cuff him, and he's trying to refuse.
Man, open the
No,
door.
turn
Hey,
around.
don't put your hands on me.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Don't put your hands
Turn
on
around
me.
and put your hands behind your back.
Why? What are you doing this to me for? Why are you doing it?
Down. Hands behind your
What are you doing this to
Now
me
he's
for?
running. Now he's
man?
running to the window. He's pulling a gun out of the drawer.
Oh!
Mom, you just shot him.
I did.
He's back.
Holy Christ! Shot him in the back.
Mom, what are you doing?
Did you see that? Him go get shot in the back?
No, I wanted to see that. I wanted to see him go down, but no, there's no.
Yeah, okay.
There's no video of him going
okay.
down.
I wanted some gore.
No, hey,
It's
can I?
good.
Hey, can I? I need to say
Go
something
ahead.
that's real
Go ahead.
important in terms of my insight. One of my brothers that's self-employed. He is a bail bondsman.
Okay.
He is a bail bondsman. And what I saw there, compared to what I see in his YouTube, yeah, he's a big YouTuber. You know, he got he got like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And I don't want to say his name because that'll probably inadvertently dox me. And it's nothing that she did in that video matches how my brother operate in any way. In any way. I'm not exaggerating.
Okay, I'm a little ignorant.
I mean everything.
Explain to me what a bail's bondsman is. What's their duty? What's their job? I don't really know.
All these, okay. They're bounty hunters. Bounty hunters. They've been around. I don't know how long they've been around. I think they've been around longer than the United States. I know they at least been around since George Washington started the U.S. Marshals back in the 1790s. Mm-hmm. And what they did was they'll say, hey, you know, we after this guy. Need you to go out there and find them and bring them to us. So basically, it's kind of like an arm of the police. So you had these guys, they go out here and they hunt down these criminals, you know, stuff them, cuff them, and bring them back to the authorities because the authorities having trouble finding them, or they might have skipped, or they jump bond, usually because they jump bond.
Okay.
You know, yeah, and then they'll send people like my brother out there to go get them. to actually physically go in there and get them.
Now,
And, you know, that's practice. It's illegal in Mexico. It's illegal, but it's been done here for 240 years. So
this
and
woman's
that's what they do.
so this woman is a bounty hunter.
Yes.
She wasn't even in uniform.
No, she wasn't.
She wasn't in uniform. She didn't have no vest. She didn't have a taser. Like my brother, my brother's not a small guy. You know, he's muscular. But I mean, what the hell are you gonna get his actual gun for if they're acting like an asshole? If they're acting like an asshole, you just tase them. Either you tase them, or in my brother's case, he likes to, just take them and just throw them to the ground, or whatever. But that is completely out of line. Completely out of line. If I tell you right now, man, like if my brother did some shit like that, man, I don't even have a brother. I mean, just to do something that cold, that's not even law. That's just thug shit. That's just thug shit. Just to open up fire like she did. That's thug shit. I'm telling you, point blank. That's all it is.
Well, she didn't. A jury found her completely not guilty of murder.
Right, they acquitted a thug.
Yeah.
That's what I saw in that video. I saw a thug. That's exactly what she is. And they acquitted a thug, a criminal who's probably going to kill again.
She'll do it again
because that's how they operate. That's how all thugs operate. And as soon as they do some bullshit and they get a pass, they're gonna do it again. They're gonna do, I did it. I'm gonna do it. That's how they all are.
Mm-hmm.
You got feminists trying to stick a gender to it like it's a man. No, it's had nothing to do with no man or woman. Most of them are men because we got testosterone. But a thug is a thug. A killer is a killer.
Right.
And I'm not talking about no selfish. I'm talking about murder in cold blood. It wasn't justified. Somebody came at you with a baseball bat. He's the same size as you, and you put a bullet in him. Tase his ass. If he has a knife, I can see a gun because I was trained how to use knives. I can see that. But that video, that was a murder.
Well, the guy wasn't even attacking her. He was trying to go outside the window.
The only way I could have seen that justified, first it would have to be him and her, and he would have had to lay her ass out. Like if he would have bust her in her shit and put her ass in the back, then yeah, put a bullet in him. You're a woman, you have to size. I can see a woman shooting at that circumstances. I could see that. A man twice the size already punched your ass in the face and put you on your damn back, and he's coming at you for more. Shoot him. I understand that, but that shit that I saw in the video was murder.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But not only that, why did she have her kid in there? That was her kid.
In case it got out of control, from what I read. And he put the GoPro camera in there. It wasn't her.
And he was shocked
that
she shot him.
That other dude was her kid?
Yeah, that was her son.
Kind of mother? What kind of mother is going to put her child in a situation like
that? Exactly. Why would you take your kid?
Why would you put your kid out?
Let's get something straight. If she's a bounty hunter, then that man was a convicted criminal?
Dude, if she's a bounty hunter, dude, I mean, you name it, my brother has gone after them. My brother has gone after rapists. My brother has gone after murder. My brother has gone after gangsters, carjackers. You can't put children around. If a 17, if they 18 or if they under 18, they're a child. You can't put children around that shit. You can't. That's some grown folk shit.
Yeah.
Man, and they acquit her. Man, gynocentrism is that bad?
Yeah.
You think they acquit my brother? No. Hell no. Forget it.
So yeah, I mean, I think this goes into the theme of how we're talking about just women getting. What is she even doing in that job if she can't handle it? mean, what's she even doing? And this is another question: will that woman keep her job?
No, she quit.
You know what?
Oh, she quit.
You know what? I mean, you know what? My brother's wife actually helps him in his bounty hunter, but she plays a supporting role. She just holds the camera, you know, and does supporting work. She is not out there doing the down and dirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's also grown. She's also a grown ass woman. You know, so that video, all I saw was a thug, and then in front of your kid, really, and they acquit her.
Yeah.
I would have had her convicted just for doing that shit in front of her kid.
Yeah.
You a terrible mother. If it was a man, it'd be the exact same. Everything that's coming out of my mouth, if a man did a shooter, it'd have been everything word for word would be the same. Everything. You know.
Well, the only difference would be that if it was a man, he would have been convicted.
Yeah, he would have been. Yeah, he would have been convicted. And then I would have been like, he's a bad father. Why you bring his kid around that shit? That it'd have been the exact same thing. He ain't shit. He ain't nothing but a thug. That even, you know, it'd be the exact word. Yeah, word per word. That's another thing. You got, and then, you know, and I don't want to go backwards, but I just want to go backwards just for a minute. It goes back to the original article.
Yeah.
You know, would you say that shit if it was a woman? If the sexes were reversed, you know, would you go to a man's defense? You know, if a bunch of women were attacking him, would you? You know, it's like, would you? Yeah. If the sexes were reversed, would it be any different? Because guess what? When it comes to gender dynamics and anything outside of sexual dimorphism, if you act different, if the genders are reversed, you're full of shit. Now, if it's inside the lines of sexual dimorphism because we're bigger, stronger, and smarter, just like TFM like to say, then yeah, it's all good. But outside that, no, you know, you just have two human beings.
Yeah. No, absolutely. When it comes, you know, justice is supposed to be blind. How can justice be blind if it clearly sees who has a vagina and who has a penis and convicts them based on that? Okay? That's not sexual dimorphism. That's fucking justice. Nope. Justice is supposed to be blind, and it's not. Our society justice is not blind because it clearly knows that you don't have a penis, therefore you should get a lesser sentence or no sentence at all. You know, and that's we see that every fucking day. It also, our society is also blind to the fact that single mothers and ex-porn stars can virtue signal as family values, as champions of family values, right? And we can.
Well, again, that's how far your nation has gone off course. Is that you need a porn star, just as you need a homosexual to push capitalism and conservative values. It's no different.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty sad. It's pretty pathetic. Now, I want to go.
She should be in the Democrats' camp, and I don't know why. It's weird how like the knee-jerk Republican Fox News listener would even. I'm going to safely assume she's been on Fox News as
probably
as a
correspondent.
to interview. Yeah, correspondent. Oh, Jenna Jameson's here to tell us about the collapse of family values. Jenna Jameson, please tell us. I think that family values are good. Vanilla at best.
And they turn the camera on, and she's got her tit hanging out. Oh, sorry, fucking wrong job. Wrong job.
Low-cut blouse. Right. Stefan Monopoulos. What's it? YU Monopoulos? What's the name of that faggot that
Milo.
He said that he touched little boys.
Milo.
Yeah, Milo and Jenna are here on Fox News today. And for $20,000 a piece, they'll do a porno together.
and we'll donate the money to the charities of family values.
Evangelical, yeah, to the starving children of fucking sub-Saharan Africa. Yes.
All right.
You know what?
Milo and Jenna.
Now, you know, a detractor listening to this may be like, oh, y'all attacking this woman. She's saying she's down for the cause, and y'all still attacking her, even though she said she's for men's rights. Then okay, if she can't do that, then what can she do? You know, what can that
Good at making
former
pornos.
do? Right, but but what could she do for the men's cause? What could she actually do? And I know
Give
it's
us all
a track out there
blowjobs.
somewhere is asking. Right. And you know what? And you know what else she could do? I'm going to reference back to Barbarossa's video that Psychology of a Concern Troll, and he put it best, and I'm going to try to quote him. This is what you do.
Okay.
When men are talking, you shut up, you listen.
Absolutely.
Right? And then you go to and then you go take what you learned from the men, then you go to the women and tell them how they should be correcting themselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
what they should be doing.
Well, that's exactly what I told her.
Answered that question. That's what. Yeah. So anyone that's asking, "Oh, what should she do?" Well, I just said it.
I was gonna say
rewind. They can rewind the damn video.
Get on your knees, bitch.
Well, I was gonna say, you know what she can do. What I said she could do is sit down. I said sit down. That's what I told her to do.
Not even sit down.
Get on your knees. But that's the whole. I mean, really.
Don't pop it neither. Don't be putting no pillows under your knees, bitch. These are hardwood floors.
And you know things she can do too. Instead of trying to attention her, I don't know. Does she have a son or a daughter?
She's got a couple kids, and they're from different guys too. So it's
okay. You know, it don't matter. You sit them. What she should do? Sit her kids together and drop red pill knowledge on them. Tell them about male and female nature. Tell the boy, you know what, you can have kids, but understand I ain't gonna be able to see them because the family court's gonna take them. And then tell the daughter, well, you know what, you're gonna have 12 years of cash in because that's when you're gonna be at your hottest.
Yeah.
Tell them the truth.
No, they won't do that.
Tell them the fucking truth, and you can sit them both together in the same room and tell that to them because the truth don't even have a gender anyway.
Yeah.
But no, what do? They want to get on here in front like they're the champion. What is she going to do that's going to stop the cycle? Nothing.
Nothing.
Is it going to close the family court? No.
She's going to raise.
What is it going to do? Because
she's going to raise a cuck.
Go ahead.
She's going to raise a cuck and a future porn star. That's what she's going to do.
Yeah, because if she did the stuff I just mentioned, she'll end the cycle. The cycle will end. Be like, oh, I was a hole, and guess what? It ends with me.
Yeah.
And then she gonna be like, at least I'm gonna have a good chance of seeing all my grandchildren instead of just the children of my daughter.
Well, this is
some misogynist motherfuckers that don't care about women anyway.
This is the schizophrenia of it all, man. And again, it's both Republicans and Democrats are the same. The schizophrenia of it all is this ex-porn star can now virtue signal for family values, raise 2 kids. Now, what happens when her daughter becomes a porn star? Are they going to turn around and go, good for you? I mean, what is it? Is it empowerment to accept money to fuck in front of a crowd? Or is it empowerment to champion family values? You can't have them both, man. I'm sorry. You know?
Nope.
So
no, if she want to please the crowd, she can do what very few women are doing. Yeah. You go and listen to what the men are saying, then you run back and clown the females and tell them what's up.
Yeah. Well, that's why I told her to sit down.
That's their role, huh? When men are talking, then you listen. Yeah, that way the cycle stops, the bullshit stops. Yeah, that's a cycle ender.
Yeah.
But they're not interested in the cycle. You know, if they do it my way, the family courts, they stop getting business.
Yeah.
The man ain't risking it, and the woman and the boy ain't risking it, and the girl ain't acting like a hoe. So where the family courts gonna get their money from? That's what I'm saying. But they ain't interested in any no cycle, whatever.
No.
He's just like you said. He's just.
No, I want to kind of springboard off of what Nick said about, her taking all her money and donating it to starving African children. Because I found this article, and it's from the Star, which is a publication out of Kenya. All right, I'm gonna send you guys in the Facebook chats to read it, and I'm also gonna give it to the And you can, if you can't see these now, Geno, you can see them later after the talk is done. They'll still.
You could Google. I could just go to Google right along with you.
Okay.
You tell me about the
I'll
article.
I'll tell you
like I did with Best Four article.
Okay, I'll tell you what the article is called in a second here. Let me just get it up for the viewers.
Yeah,
here.
I could Google it and come right up.
Okay, so this I found this in MGTOW circles. So the title of the article is this. Again, it's from the Star, which is a Kenyan publication, published on March 12, 2018. It says Baringo man is lynched for having sex with cow. He says girls have HIV. So.
Ooh, I like that excuse. It's safer to bang cow.
Yes. So this guy from Kenya he got killed, man. They fucking lynched him. They lynched this guy because he was fucking a cow. And when they lynched him, he's like, okay, let me just read it. A man in Baringo was on Sunday lynched by an angry mob after he was found having an unnatural act with a cow. I like how they say that. Joseph Coach, alias Manundi, 25, was ambushed, pants down, at Tenet Sawich village, Eldama Ravine on Sunday morning. He said he had been having sex with the cow because most women have HIV. He says, don't kill me. Let me surrender my piece of land to pay for the cow. I always have sex with the cow wherever I feel like because I fear girls might infect me with the HIV.
You know what? You know what?
How afraid they are getting sick over there, man.
You know what? I'm actually speechless. Y'all caught me speechless. I have nothing to fucking say.
Well, this is like, and he was pleading this before they hung him, right? They just all these. It says the fiery youths, it was younger people, descended on him with blows, stones, and sticks, leaving him with critical injuries. He died. Oh, okay, he didn't get hung. When they say lynched, they just stoned him to death. He died at Eldama Ravine Level 4 Hospital, where he was admitted. So, this man in Africa, in Kenya, got caught fucking a cow, and the reason he was fucking the cow is because all the women around him have AIDS. He doesn't want to fuck them. Can you really lynch a guy for that?
I'm having trouble finding the article.
Oh, it's called. Right, type in Baringo.
Yeah, because I can't spell Baringo. If I was to spell for that, then I'd be
Baringo. 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 It's like bingo with an A and R. Baringo man lynched for having sex with cow. That's what the headline says. Says
what
girls.
country was this?
Kenya.
All right, and that's more progressive of a country.
African
in
country. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can tell that it's not too progressive because as soon as they catch a man fucking a cow, they stone him to death.
Why not?
This is only 6 days ago.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
You might wind up on best score.
Damn.
I'll keep you posted.
Okay. So
man, you know what? I got the article here, and I'm still speechless.
Yeah. It
caught me speechless.
Well, a couple things.
What the actual fuck?
So there's a couple things that stand out in this article. Number one is like obviously, I mean, it's pretty third world, even though it's progressive. It's pretty third world because there was no trial, there was no jury, there was no officers involved. It was just like, look at that guy, he's fucking a cow. Quick, kill him.
Yeah, it seems pretty just to me, man.
Okay, fine.
Violating the cow.
Okay, fine. Okay,
even he did have a legitimate argument.
Here's a comment
That's
down
the
here.
Point, man.
I know.
Here's a comment. Yeah, there's a comment here in the bottom that says, instead of killing him, they should have asked him to marry the cow and pay bride price to the farmer who owns the cow.
Well, there you go.
That's fair. Pay reparations to. I mean, that cow's got PTSD now. I mean, it might be a single mom cow. There's going to be a lot of ramifications because of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this thing got me.
It's addicted to, it's addicted to Oxycontin now. This poor cow,
Well, and
here's another comment: do not mount my cars, you will be lynched.
Okay. Yeah. Here. So for some people, it's pretty, You don't.
That's why I'm speechless. Yeah, if I'm speechless, I'm gonna look for the comments.
Well, and the other thing is his. This is the other thing that got me was his excuse. He's like he's begging, please don't kill me. I like to fuck this cow because all the girls have HIV. Like that's a pretty pathetic plea. It's a cry. It's like he's like, do you not realize like I can't fuck women because they all have AIDS? Like
You
what
know
is that? What does that say?
You know that cow's vagina was probably smaller than that porn star's. You know.
Probably.
Oh man, shit.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't
I
know.
don't even know what to say.
HIV is
Yeah.
pretty prominent in a lot of African countries. It's kind of out of control. I know that there's this is a topic for another show maybe, but there
Yeah,
are.
I got some stuff. I was gonna say, I know I got some stuff that I'll have to wait for another show also.
Yeah, this is definitely it could be a topic of another show. But
Yeah.
Nick and I have talked about Africa before, but the topic of HIV in Africa is a very interesting one, and I know for a fact that there have been a couple of African countries that are standing up to the Western influence, where these corporations are coming over and demanding that they teach their young people how to fuck properly instead of teaching abstinence. So there's a lot of African countries that have been standing up against this Western invasion of this kind of perverted sexual education, and it's actually fucking worked. Now I don't. Again, this is for another time, but just to let you know, like I've got some information on a couple of these countries that have stood up to Bill Gates and said, "Go fuck yourself with your sexual education and your shots."
It's most of Africa, from what I understand.
Well, there's no, but I'm saying most Africa is getting fucked from it. But there's some countries that put their foot down and said, "Go fuck yourself," and they've brought this up to the United Nations as well. And a lot of these American companies that are coming over to like kind of teach this perverted form of sexual education. They said,
Ayam, I don't know if you know about this. One of the foundations Bill Gates has funded in Africa, their job was to give out vaccines, and the vaccine was spiked with something, and it made a whole village. They were infant, not fertile, but infertile. Yes.
Yeah.
And over like 1,000 something women were unable to procreate because of this vaccine, courtesy of the Bill Gates Foundation.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's something to talk about for another video, because I know some countries have stood up to it, and there's a couple countries that have actually reduced the HIV cases in their country by teaching abstinence, not teaching young girls how to suck a dick.
Here's another one. Is the other one was when the Ebola outbreak in. What country was it? Sierra Leone, Liberia. Was one of those three down there. Liberia, Sierra Leone. There's one other one that's right next to it that got the Ebola virus. Is when the international Doctors Without Borders went there to help with the Ebola epidemic. The Africans started rioting and beating up the white doctors, saying, "This is your fault. You're bringing the Ebola to us. This is why we're sick." So there was a huge rejection of Western doctors during the Ebola outbreak because the population believed that everything was fine until they showed up. And hey, you know what? It's possible.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rule it out.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's something we can talk about in another one. I want to kind of keep going through these articles that I have before we end the show here. There's another one that I promised to talk about that we haven't yet, and I'm going to send this one now to the people watching. Yeah, MGTOW says abstinence works because
I'm looking at the screen too, so we can put.
Yeah, it's there. I put it up. But MGTOW says in the talks, abstinence works because it's actually a quarantine. Absolutely, it works. The best way to treat any kind of to teach kids about how to avoid pregnancy and how to avoid disease is abstinence. It's 100% works. It's been proven in a lot of these African countries that took initiative and started doing it. They reduced HIV in their countries by teaching abstinence because the alternative was these Western countries coming in and go, we're going to teach your young girls how to suck a dick. That's their idea of sexual education. I'm not kidding. I've got videos on this shit that we will discuss at a later date. So yes, abstinence definitely works. Now, the article that I sent you is the one, Nick, about the Wachowski brothers. You there?
Yeah, I'm here listening.
Okay. Now, this article, you have this one. This one says, the Wachowski brothers of Matrix fame are now the Wachowski sisters. And this is old news. This is what, 2 years old?
I'm not sure. Again, I found out about it through another video.
Yeah. So this is interesting, and I think the listeners are might be interested in this. But this is 2 years old, so you might already know. But the Wachowski brothers of Matrix fame are now the Wachowski sisters. So here it is. The two brothers who invented or coined the term red pill are now women. Let that sink in.
Yep.
So it says, and when the article, this USA Today article quotes them, it uses like she said in part, my sister.
Yeah, they'll flip. Yeah, they'll flip. You know, they'll flip them pronouns around like it ain't shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's insanity, man.
Yeah. So both of these brothers,
Yeah.
both of these brothers become women over a decade after that, after the red pill is made, goes viral. It's absolutely incredible. So just so you guys know, just for all you MGTOW out there, every time you say the red pill now, you can think of a couple trannies. Congratulations.
Pink pill. Them motherfuckers. Shit. Yeah, this man, I yeah, it's like, man, it's like, how deep does the rabbit hole go? Don't even ask.
Yeah. Well,
You went from being lynched for fucking a cow to the Matrix.
Right.
Matrix ain't men no more, they women.
Absolutely.
Fuck.
The rabbit hole goes very, very deep. So I have a couple more articles, but I think I'm still gonna save them for another day. We'll just end off this stream. We're about 2.5 hours into it.
Man, yeah, I'm hungry as hell too, man. All I had was a bowl of soup that I hurried up and ate before the stream came on. Yeah.
All right, yeah, we're going to bring it to an end. We got more stuff we can discuss next week. And Nick, I'm not sure what we're going to do for time next week either, but I'll let you know in the middle of the week. And I'll keep the viewers informed. But it will be Saturday for sure. I'm positive of that.
How long have you been on right now? 2 hours?
2 hours and 22 minutes.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming in, guys. We're going to cut it down today.
No problem.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks for
It
stopping
was
in,
nice.
Geno.
I enjoyed thanks. I enjoyed my very first stream ever.
Good.
Yeah, glad you joined us.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's nice. You know, I'm always on the lookout for other people to come bring on in and get a perspective. So yeah, it's nice to talk to you. Nice to talk to MGTOW from different parts of the countryside and the world. And anyway, all right. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Be safe, be wise, and we will see you again in the next stream.